Hey guys, it's your girl Tash. Wagwan, what a guan. To all my subscribers, big up on yourself. You don't know up. So guys, I don't know if you remember this Rasta man from 2 months ago. I cut off what was left of his dreadlocks, and this is the hair growth result. There's still some hair loss in the crown, but compared to how the hair was 2 months ago, it was just pure skin inside the crown. So the fact that I can see little hairs inside the crown that I can grip is a big, massive improvement. So what I did, because I didn't get to post the video when I was cutting off the dreadlocks, I didn't get time to post it. What I did is that I posted it prior to this video. So I posted both videos back to back, and I am glad that I never had time to do it before, because everything is just God's timing. Because just looking at the hair growth result now and looking at how his hair was before when I cut off the dreadlocks 2 months ago, it's a big transition. And to be able to post it back to back so you guys can just run back and just watch the other video that was posted prior to this video, and obviously you can see them next to each other. So you can go back and watch the video before and then come back to this video so you can see the hair growth difference for yourself. You can see how much the hair has grown in the front of the head, especially because now I'm able to freestyle something different to kind of ease the tension of the hairline. So anyways, let me just explain to Uno what I do, because obviously I know what I did. So, and I know what the result looked like. So let me just tell Uno what I do. So I'm feeding in the braids, and I'm using the technique where I secure the knot at the front of the head. And usually I would ask the customer to hold the braid at the front of the head there where I started my knot. But because the client here has grown so much, I have no reason to grip it so hard or grip it too tight or put any tension on the hairline. I'm just braiding it nice and simple. Basically, I don't need to add any tension at all. I'm just braiding it normal. So there's literally no reason for the customer to hold the braid at the front there, because I'm not worried about it being tight at all. As I said, I have so much hair to work with, and this is a thing. Usually when I don't have enough hair to work with at the front there, I would definitely need to um add a lot more tension to the hair when I'm braiding it. And usually I would need like the customer to hold the hair at the front so that I don't braid it too tight. But now I'm just braiding through it just normal because I have so much hair to work with. There's so much hair growth compared to 2 months ago when I first cut off the dreadlocks. As you can see, if you look on the right hand side of the screen, you can see that the crown of the head was completely bald, completely bald. It was just skin, and the front of the head there was barely anything there for me to work with. So it has been a big improvement, and I am so proud of this, and the client is so happy with this result. It wasn't something he was expecting at all. I mean, when he first came to me, he just wanted to do something to his hair because he planned to cut off the dreadlocks, but he didn't want to go back to all low cuts or even a bald head. So he just wanted something just to keep going. And for him to regain all this hair growth and all this consciousness, is over the moon about it. And I am very proud to be able to share it with you guys. I always big up all my clients that are confident enough to let me record them and go on screen, because it's a motivation to others, and just to show others that, you know what, it's not the end of it. It's not the end of it. But anyways, guys, as you can see, the first three braids that I did, I slanted them over across the front of the hairline, just to ease the tension of the hairline, and obviously just to give my client a different look. I didn't want to go with the all straight back again as I did the first time. I just wanted to do something different for him now that I have a lot more hair to work with. So anyways, with this fourth braid, um I have to start going straight over the crown. So I can't slant the braids all the way over on the right hand side and then slant them again over on the left hand side to make that spiral braid kind of design. I could only spiral braid across just to one side, up to a certain extent. But as I got to the center of the head, the crown of the head, I have to think about coverage. The best way to cover over the hair that is thinning in the crown, the best way to give it that nice full coverage and to give it that fullness is for me to braid straight across the crown. If I start slanting the braids, there are gonna be too much gaps and the thinning in the crown is gonna be too obvious. So I'm gonna braid about 4 braids going across in a straight line to the back, and it's so much easier for me to do this without causing any tension to the crown. Because I've already braided the front of the head, so I don't need to pull any hair from the hairline coming across. So for me and the customer, this is a lot more easier. This is a lot more comfortable for him. It's a lot more easier for me to manage, and it's a lot more comfortable for the client as I am braiding it. So I am just continuing to feed in braid as natural as I can across the crown of the head. And as you can see, I have a lot more hair to work with than I did the first time. So if you haven't seen the previous video when I cut off the dreadlocks, please go and check that out. You can either check it out after this so that you can see what I was talking about, or you can just pause this video and go and check that one out, and then you can come back to this video. So this video is like a part 2 really, but it's like a part 1 and a part 2 you know, within a 2-month period, because as I said, I didn't get to post the first video before to show you guys, oh, I cut off the dreadlocks and oh, I styled this hair with the hair that I had left to work with. So I posted both videos back to back. So if you just go back to my previous post just before this, you will see that I just posted the first appointment, and this is a second appointment with me. I did see him during those 2 months because the braids that I did before when I cut off the dreadlocks, those braids on the top had gotten loose because of the hair growth. So I kind of knew from then that his hair was growing, because the fact that he had to come back to me like a month later to tighten up those braids on top, it shows that the hair was really, really growing, because those braids, they lifted off completely. So I just tightened the braids that was on the top, because that's usually the problem area. The problem area is usually the braids on the top of the head where the hair is thinning. Once that starts to grow, then the hair starts to lift. But in this case, the client won't experience any lifting, because as I said, I have a lot more hair to grip. I can already feel as I'm braiding, the hair is so firm and is so tight onto the scalp. Not too tight, but I can just feel the firmness as I'm braiding it, that is holding on very firm onto the scalp. And you know, as you can see, with this third braid that I'm doing, it's already creating a full coverage over the crown of the head. So now it's not obvious at all that there was any hair loss inside the crown, and it looks so natural, as if I braided its natural hair going across. So I will be making a fourth braid going over the crown so that I can give the top of the head a lot more coverage. So this is looking good so far. So good so far. Everything looked good, but I still feel like I need to put another braid going over the crown just to give it that fullness. This is all a freestyle, but obviously it's pre-recorded, right? I am not live right now, so I can just tell you what I'm going to do next. So what I'm going to do next is that I am going to go over to the left side of the head, and I'm going to start my first braid with a slant. So I will put that fourth braid over the crown, but I'm just going to go over to the left hand side. And I don't know why I did this. I think I did this because of composition. I wanted to get the composition right in terms of the size of the braids, like how much hair I needed to part it out. So because I'm freestyling, sometimes you just don't know, or you can't predict how much braids you're gonna have to put on each side. But my aim is to put the same amount of braids on each side. So the same amount of braid that I did on the right hand side, I want to do it on this side. But composition is very important. You know, we don't want some of the braids that look bigger than some. So I feel like that's the reason why I went over onto this side and just start braiding the ones on the side, just to kind of see the density, like how much density I'm gonna have to use, and just to make sure that it's equal. That's my technique anyways. So with this braid I did on the side now, it kind of like give me a guideline. So now I know I've got 3 more braids to do. So I got 2 more to do on the side, and I did promise that I was going to do this another straight braid going over the crown, just to kind of give the top of the head a bit more coverage and a bit more fullness. So, okay, now I'm gonna just stop and do that. So I've gone over the crown now. I'm going over the crown with my last braid, which is a 4th braid, and that's gonna give the top of the head a bit more coverage. It's gonna make it look a lot more full. So if I had slanted this 4th braid, I would be left with a big gap at the top of the head. So now you see the importance of me putting more braids at the top of the head to make it look a lot more full, going straight across. So for me, this is enough braid going across. If I do the other braids going straight, it's gonna look weird. I'm gonna get a weird pattern. I mean, it might not be that bad, but this is my technique. And it's a lot better than going straight across, because usually when a client is suffering from hair loss in the crown, I usually just go straight across. So to be able to do a little bit of patterning, it's really good, and it just really shows that his hair grew a lot. So I'm very proud of this. So instead of putting two braids on the side, instead of putting 2 slanted braids on the side here, because I'm left with 2 braids, right? So I'm just gonna crisscross them, just to make it interesting, and just to pattern up the thing, like, you know, pattern up the thing. You have a pattern up the thing, like, it just can't be boring and just go all straight over. I have to put a little twist, you know, on the side, a little pattern on the side. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just crisscrossing the 2 braids. Instead of making them straight, I'm just making a little crisscross pattern on the side, you know, which will look really, really nice. And it won't make the hairstyle look so boring, you know. I mean, this is freestyle. When it comes to freestyle, like, you don't really know what you're gonna do until you do it. That's the whole idea of a freestyle. Okay, you're just going with the amount of hair that you have, the shape of the client face, the shape of the hairline. And this client, he has a little bit of widow's peak. So when you're working with widow's peak hairline, you know, it's very difficult to find the right pattern and the right style. So freestyle is always the way to go. So anyways, look at that. Look at that crisscross. It looked good. It looked good. Yes, man, well pattern up and everything. Man, look well fresh. Me take off about 10 or 20 years, don't it? You not tell me in the comment how much years I took off him. Because going from those rusty dreadlocks to this, a full head of hair, man look fresh, man look good. Yes, man look good. Thank you for watching.